Apana, Samana, Vyana. Okay, so all these different aspects of prana. What is prana itself? Life force. Basically the energy, vitality within us. And it can be classified as the force that is responsible for thought waves, breathing, that which resides in the head or operates in the head, let's put it this way. Then Udana, the upward force. What are the upward forces?
Vomiting,
belching, vomiting, and eventually they consider even the spiritual energy, the Kundalini, and Dhananjaya prana, or the prana that leaves us when we leave the body. All that is considered as the upward force. Just to give a practical example of that, practice Vamandoti, you will know what is Dhananjaya prana also very soon. I used to practice every weekly once, Vamandoti. It requires a lot of pre-preparation and everything, and make sure you practice it safely. So when you drink saline water and vomit, you practice this up for regularly 4 to 5 weeks. Right? Then you will see that as you practice regularly, the upward force, the belching, even the vomiting itself, you feel like it's coming out so much in a controlled way that you don't have to put your fingers and start doing that exercise and all. And through that practice, if you practice that a few months, regularly weekly practice, at one point you will see that the experience of that Vamandoti is so powerful. It feels like you are at the top of the mountain. You just feel, wow, I have so much control over my prana, the upward force. Just the water comes out like the elephant throwing out water, they say, Gajakarani, right? That kind of a feeling happens. And then you will get an aha moment with respect to what we are saying here, the Dhananjaya prana, and how the yogis used to let go of their body, right? Without too much struggling. And we are all here terminally ill and struggling. I don't want to let go, and we fight that disease, we fight the death and all that stuff. Whereas when you practice this Udana practices regularly, you will even, it is said, you will know how to even leave the body. Just, okay, this morning 5:30 a.m. I'm just going to let, whatever resolve you would have made previous day, you wait. There were, Swami Rama writes in his book that they all prepared. The sage was supposed to leave the body, and he just sat there, and then he said Om, and then he was gone. So things like that, that is possible. You will come to believe that by simply practicing your Vamandoti regularly weekly for about a few months. I felt that way, at least myself, that whoa, if this is how I can feel, oh, someday I can even leave my body like this. This is so awesome. So I felt. So that is the practice of Udana Vayu. I just wanted to let you know. The application of Apana Vayu. 2 examples I always like to give, constipation and the childbirth for women, right, especially. Once I had this myself, constipation, 6 times in the day, 30 minutes each time, I sat in the toilet just meditating on Apana Vayu, and without any medicine, anything, which for months I was suffering from constipation, I was able to go. So it's possible, Apana Vayu. Then comes the childbirth. The midwives in villages, they do worship Apana Vayu. Especially they are Ayurvedic midwives, they say, hey, let's worship this Apana Vayu, and then they say, Apana Vayu, help us, cooperate with us. So what exactly is happening there? Is there some special goddess who is going to come and help like that? No, the point is that your focus is now on the downward force, as opposed to fighting this pain that the mom is going through, right, during labor. Instead, you direct that energy towards the downward force, and you make it easy for yourself. That is the idea of all these, knowing these Vayu, Prana Vayus, and working with them, as opposed to fighting them for the most part. And also getting distracted. You want something to be achieved, morning, you want to go, you just have to sit there and, yes, people take their newspapers and everything, and if it happens, it happens. That's not the point. Yes, fine, if that gives you relaxation, but the point is you want to direct the energies accordingly, so that you come out, instead of sitting there for half an hour every day and reading newspapers, there you know where to read the newspaper, you know where to go poo-poo and all that, right? Do what you do at doing, they say, eat while you eat and poop while you poop, and read while you read. So that's the idea of optimal use of pranic energies. Now pranic energization technique, what we do here is, I'll be skipping some of the practices, but I'll tell you the whole steps at this point. The idea is to observe the pranic activity in your body, prana and vyana for the most part. And vyana is the activity of circulation, whether it is the blood circulation. Again, those words are not necessarily medical, they are medical words, they are not yogic words. So the circulation of blood, lymph, nervous activity, hormones producing their hormones and distributing to the right part, all of this is the movement, distribution, right? So that is all termed together as vyana. But in this case of PET, what we do is we observe the heartbeat, we observe the pulse between thumb and index finger, and when we take Chinmaya Mudra, Chin Mudra, Chinmaya Mudra, and Adi Mudra, and Namaskara Mudra. These are the 4 mudras we use. So in Chin Mudra, we look at the pulse between thumb and index finger, and when we take Chinmaya Mudra, the phantom effect of the practice, that is, let's say I held the mudra here and I released, then there is a phantom effect, that is at the point where you have folded your hands into the palms, you remove it, you feel something there long after you have stopped holding it. So just observe those little subtle effects of touch, of the feeling of touch. So this is, Vyana is all about feeling of touch that we are going to meditate upon. And then when we hold the hands in Namaskara Mudra, again, palms they have a lot of nerve endings, so very easy to practice. You should be able to practice with any part of the body, but this is easiest to practice because the nerve endings are plenty here. So we hold there, and if we hold it at the heart center, you'll also feel the heartbeat and observe the heartbeat, and then you separate them a bit and you feel the cool touch of cool air, or maybe some aura between, there is, if not anything, we are warm-blooded and there is heat escaping the body all the time, and you can feel that effect, if not anything. So we don't have to get mystical about this prana in the hand and some kind of a aura and all that. Not necessarily in a mystic way, but even in a simple logical way we can feel that, right? And then when we separate the 2 palms, you feel something between the 2 palms. Just play along, and then rotation. You imagine a ball of energy here, like you're a dough, which you are sort of making ball. Just will practice that. You may feel something now, but not so profound. But when you really balance the breath, the key to this practice is really balancing of the breath. It takes about 20 minutes to just balance the breath. The right nostril breathing, left nostril breathing, then Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, that is Chandra Anulom Vilom, Surya Anulom Viloma, then Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, then mental Chandra Anulom Viloma, mental Surya Anulom Vilom, mental Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, Sahaja Pranayama, any practice that you would like to use to balance the breath. Once the breath is balanced between the 2 nostrils, that is both right and left, you also, both Ida and Pingala Nadi are now active, and the prana flows at the Shushumna, the middle channel, it is said. And that is when you become fully awake. This practice is not done lying down, actually. It's done sitting down, because then you are fully awake. That's why I'm saying don't sleep, because the last part is actually Vyana rotation. After doing all these things, we go into Vyana rotation, wherein we start observing from the right heel up here. At the skin level, you feel some strings taken and drawn along, like, take your fingers and just go along that's the feeling you get without doing any of these things. Just feel. Take your awareness and you feel prana there, and as you take awareness up, you just feel that some ants are crawling up or some such thing. So it's not exactly DRT style relax the body type, it's just observe at the skin level. So we'll leave the arms out, we'll just practice only here. Okay, and go all the way and come back to practice. Okay, so what is the time? How much time do I have?
12:37.
Okay, we'll practice. And if you need some support, you need to sit on the chair, you need to take the wall support, any which way that you feel comfortable, because once you sit, ideally you should be able to sit without feeling numb and without feeling any pain. And last part, if you cannot sit too long, then you can lie down, but please don't snore even if you sleep. And it's also okay to, last part, you can stretch your legs and sit, that's also fine, as long as you are comfortable sitting.